Hi everyone, it's Dave again from Banded Badgers, and this time in What's in the Box we are looking at Epic Encounters, the Village of the Goblin Chief. Now, as you may or may not know, we've been playing these boxes as live playthrough campaigns, as kind of one-shots. We've got a series of action hero type characters just going all out and facing these one-shots in the box, which are absolutely gorgeous. When they say epic, they really, really do mean this. Now, this is made by Steamforged Games and available at steamforged.com. These ones priced around $32 to $34 to $39.99. So you've got a range of prices depending on what needs you're after. Now, Village of Goblin Chief, we recently played this. It's a lot of fun. It's a treetop goblin village. Now, the box, as it shows, the box includes 20 miniatures, so you get a full range of various goblins. You have sets. I think there's 7 sets of unique designs for what's available in here. And if you were to paint them, they look even more spectacular. There's some really great ones in here. And you've got artwork and stuff to go with them. So you've got a double-sided game mat. So it's an A2 sized poster. It's slightly kind of a harder texture. It's not just poster paper. So it's not easy to rip. But it should also keep some dribbles off as well. If you put it in the shower, it's not going to work. But it should keep it nice and safe for most of it. Inside, you get a comic-sized adventure book. You get the monster's stats. This is 5e compatible. And tips and tricks for building tension and excitement, which I say in every of these unboxings. The advice they give you to ramp up the content in here is fantastic. And you can drop this into any campaign. So if your characters, one of your players can't get there next to your D&D session, you want to run something, but your players are stuck in the woods before they get to their next proper story-based encounter. While that player's away, you don't want them to miss out on the main story, so you can run this. And this means that there's a treetop village in that forest, and the goblins are hunting you now it's time to fight them, to hunt them back. So, beware the giggling goblins and their cruel knives. Hidden in the treetop village, they plot their raids and feast on whatever they can steal or kidnap. But goblin malice is not the only threat in these parts. Far beneath the branches, the ground has begun to rot, polluting the soil and spoiling harvests. And only the goblins know why. So most of these sets come in twos. You have the army set, which is the 20 miniatures. And then it's completely optional. Then you get a boss monster. So you just get a huge gargantuan figurine with its own battle map, its own book to go with it. So you can run that as well. Do check out our previous episodes. You can find them on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/bandedbadgers. Or if you, I was going to say, if you pull my finger, if you follow my finger, don't pull my finger. If you follow my finger, that will take you to our channel there, and you can see the rest of our videos for the Epic series. Now, what you don't get in the box is dice. You don't get character sheets, and you don't get the role-playing rule books. It's 5e compatible. You can drop it into any game, and there is an actual size goblin there. But we're going to have a look. So let's crack this one open. The best thing about this, they are big, strong, sturdy boxes. They are nice and thick and strong. If you put it into a bag, if you're doing lots of travel to take it to your players, wherever you may game, it'll be well looked after. So let's put that to one side. Inside, here we go. You have a kind of comic size, bit bigger than an ash can, but slightly smaller than a standard comic, is the booklet. We'll come back to that in a sec. What I want to show you are these designs for the miniatures. There you go. There is Goblin Riders. You've got a bowman goblin riding a frog, and a guy with 2 blades riding a frog. These are Bloodwood goblins mounted on arrow-tongued tree frogs. They are amazing. The detail is gorgeous. I mean, this one, you can see like the vine. It's got little spikes on. It is incredible. The entire collection is great. We'll come back to this one because it's my favorite. So this is the Enforcer. He's a goblin who's a little bit stronger, a little bit meaner than all the rest. Again, he's got bits of planks of wood as armor. Look at that. He's great. These are your standard Bloodwood goblins. So you get 6. You get 3 of each model. One who's got that big jagged knife. That one's got the bow there. We'll come back to him because he's still my favourite. Inside, you also get a large mini. You get a Flail Snail. Completely underrated miniature. But you look, it's just got all this moss growing on top of its shell. You can see the vines and even leaves, look, there. And you can see its mouth. It has a nasty mouth. But what you can't, I'll show you the mini. But yeah, you've got various tendrils with wrapped up in these giant, well not giant, but big bricks. And then this is the bad guy. So this is the Goblin Hepman, and yes, he's wearing a mask, and that all becomes apparent when you're playing this when you play the storyline. There you've got his kind of staff. He's holding the staff all the way behind him, and then you've got this kind of skull with it. Everything's been dug out. There's an example of some of the maps inside. It is a treetop map plus a hollowed out tree. And we'll open those up and have a look because the detail, the glow of these fire torches is beautiful on the maps. And we'll come back to my favourite. This is the Goblin Chewer. Sorry, the Frog Chewer. So he has a kind of a spear. He's got a sharp blade on a stick. He's got his tongue hanging out. He's actually, you're not going to be able to really see it. He has a frog. I'll show you the artwork in the book. He has a frog sitting on his head. And he licks frogs. Because some frogs are slightly poisonous, slightly venomous. And these ones, they get slightly high on these frogs, which means they don't feel pain. But it's just, I mean, the amount of humour that's in these is incredible. So we'll have a proper look at that in a bit. Let's have a quick look at the detail of the map. Now it is kind of it has a slight coating to it, so it's not full paper. It's slightly stronger. But look at the glow on that fire effect. You've got steam and smoke coming off the fire pit. You've got water from these bowls. You can just see that that's dripped on the floor. That's spilled open onto the floor. Then you have a series of rope bridges connect. You can look at the trees below. Okay, because this is a treetop village, and you've got these rope bridges connecting like units like these. Each of the huts. I think there's a series of 4 or 5 huts. That's the other side. There we go. So you can see here, as you come across, you've got another open landing. Then you've got another rope bridge. Corner area, you come round, there's a hut here, so you can see the rooftop on there. Now in the booklet it gives you descriptions of what it could be inside each of the huts. You can make up your own, but the stories they give you is quite nice. Some of it is quite horrifying. And again, the blanket of trees, the canopy, allowing the players to use the environment as best they can. So that is an A2 size map, and it is double-sided. So that's the Treetop Village. Now, when they get to the Hetman, the Goblin Hetman, he is in a hollowed out tree trunk. You want it, like a giant oak. And inside, there's the Hetman's magic circle. So he starts in there. The players, when I played this, my players started at this end. And they've climbed down into this area. And then this bit is carved out. So this goes down and then down into this bowl-shaped area. Where the Hetman sort of sleeps over here, but this is his magic circle. You've actually got the snail flail goes around here. You've got a pool of water available as well, and all more magic mushrooms. But again, the lighting is beautiful, is incredible. It's a great map to play with. We had a lot of fun playing it. Do check out our videos on our YouTube channel, and it's a lot of fun. We don't take it too seriously at all. Now, let's have a look at the minis. So let's try and get these out. So everything comes in these packs. So everything has a nice, can be stored away nicely. What I'll do is I'll put that over there. Let's dig one out. Let's go straight for the snail flail. Snail flail. Here he is. Look at that. There's his mouth there. It's a nice size. It'd be a great one to paint. We will be painting these at some point. Check out our Great British Brush Off series where we do miniature painting as well. So he's a nice size. He's a large. Let's get you one of the Enforcer goblins is there. Again, the level of detail on these Absolutely beautiful. He's got the bow and arrows on the back of him. He's got a skull as a pauldron there, protect his shoulder. Here you've got a plank of wood with some bones strapped to it. He's great. So you actually get 4 of him. You get 1 snail flail, or flail snail. 4 of him. Here's our Goblin Chewers. Goblin Frog Chewers. Look at that. He's actually got a bone just holding up his trousers there. Some really nice sizes. I mean, look at the size of those in comparison. Let's put that there. So, great detail. Here's one of the bowmen. This is a standard goblin. He's also got his arrows there. So, he's digging out an arrow. His arm's behind him. So I'm really looking forward to actually getting into painting some of these. Here's one of the next ones. Look at the size of that blade. If this was Pathfinder, that would be a dog splicer. You can see the hair. You can even see just on his ear, look. A chunk of his ear is missing. Okay, here's a great one. Let's have a look. Oh, the Frog Riders. So these are, again, slightly bigger. You can see the standard size. There's the large. So they are nice and big. Steamforged Games. Look at that. Look at that frog. The frog is so cute. The frog is actually, they've even put armor on the frog. You can see they've lashed it with vines. So he's got these kind of wooden planks, bits of bark. And then you've got the bowman riding him. He's even got a seat lock. He's got a saddle. He's got a water bottle. There is a point to the frogs as well if you have a look at the book. And so you get 4 of those for the froggies, frog riders. You get 2 bowmen and 2 with swords. There you go. So it's pretty much the same pose, just a different rider. So you've got 2 swords there. Absolutely fantastic. Now the Hetman. Let's dig this one out of the box. Here we go. He is much smaller than the rest. Let's try and find. There we go. So there's the Enforcer. There's that one. Standard Goblin. That is probably about the same size. He's got earrings in his ears. He's got some piercings. He's got the staff, which is holding behind himself. Huge long hair. All matted. He's got this hanging skull up. The top is just chopped off, which you use it as a pot. Maybe it's a lantern. And a mask. Now, if you're familiar with the story of The Mask, or the film with Jim Carrey, that kind of gives some of it away. A cursed mask that gives this goblin power. So there you go. So there's some of the minis. I pushed out of the way. We're going to have a look at the booklet. So this it's got a great breakdown of all the information needed, and you can tier this up as well. So you have tiers of play for low, middle, and high level party. You can again, this artwork is gorgeous. This painted artwork is amazing. You can put these into any story, but we've been running them as basically one-shots, a series of one-shots. Here you kind of get some background information of where to set the scene, what rumours the players may have heard of, various locations and how to navigate. Here you go. This is the artwork for the frog chewer. You can see he's dribbling. He's got a frog sitting on his head. He's carrying his frog. That is spot on. That is so good. Now, each of the maps, you have this kind of breakdown. And, you know, just like anything, if you're familiar with Wizard of the Coast D&D books, you've got the map drawn out and what points. So at 1, you've got the Rickety Bridge. But here's where the tension ramps up. So it's a rickety bridge. Now it was built by goblins, not by humans or any of the other clever races. And what you might need to do, you've got to do a dexterity check. Otherwise, your foot might go through one of the planks, which might send out a signal to people, might end up raising an alarm. Or you might fall through completely, plummeting all the way down to the ground. Then you're on your own. You've effectively split the party. Tree frogs stable. So these tree frogs, they are growing these things. A little bit of a spoiler. That bit I showed you with the pots of water, that wasn't water, or just water. That's water with frogs spawning there, because they're literally growing these things. They are raising them. You've got the hatchery, and other things that can happen in the hatchery. So you've got random roll tables. You've got the smokery. The way down. Well, the way down is easy. But if you happen to use, and again, look at the artwork on the goblins. If you happen to use the boss lair area, you'll go inside the giant tree. It's all been hollowed out. There is the Hitman's Hollow. And it's a good 3 to 4 hours worth of content. I mean, we try to keep our videos, when we do the live play, we try to keep it to 3 hours. Sometimes it goes over. But if you were playing this around a table in person and you have no live stream constraints, you can easily do 4 hours. Just take your time, enjoy it. It's supposed to be fun. Mushrooms, yeah, they have side effects. They definitely have side effects. Could you imagine? You just, suddenly, somehow you get poisoned by mushrooms, and you and your party are fighting for survival, and suddenly your stomach groans. You really have to go to the potty. That's going to be a bit of an interesting story when they get back to the tavern. The armory shell, the snail shell armory, the well. And these are just locations in the second map. The slime trail, the flail snail pen. Again, look at that artwork of the village up in the trees. Gorgeous. The summoning circle, because the Hetman is inside. He is a spellcaster. And then you kind of get this bit that we've seen before in the Wizard's books, where there's a little bit of content and stuff you can read out to the players. So all of this is just making up as you go along, reading some of the ideas which are here, and let the players guide you. It's a very simple map. There's not much to memorize about it at all. And this will link into the next box, the boss box. Again, great artwork. There's the Hetman with his mask. There's one of the normal goblins. And I love the style of these. You know, Wizard of the Coast and Pathfinder, they both have their own style of goblins. These are truly epic goblins. I love their artwork. So you get the stats as well. So you can use this. It matches up with, if you use D&D Beyond, for example, and you want to create your own homebrew characters, you can type this in. That's exactly what I do, because we use D&D Beyond with our players. So each of the stats are based on a standard D&D goblin. Here's our Blood Dart Goblin Enforcer. Some of the stats have been changed. Some of the weapons have been changed. You might get a multi-attack. There's our Goblin Frog Chewer. He's absolutely great. No pain, no fear. The effects of the tree frog venom. Immune to almost all pain. And they take half damage. Ooh. There's our tree frog. Even our tree frog looks like he's out of his nut. There we go. Challenge ratings. The Flail Snail, all the stats, and look, it's quite an interesting description. They're a really underrated wilderness creature, and then you have a result for what might happen if you cast spells at a Flail Snail. They could rebound. Not a lot of people know that. There we go. There is a Bloodwood Goblin Hitman, who is unbelievable, and there's a really nice thing that happens when he dies, which is part of that descriptive text. I'm not going to spoil that. But really fantastic way in for your heroes to feel like heroes. You get it credits. Here's the entire Steamforged team. Well done, Steamforged team. Another fantastic product. And what is coming next? So do check out this unboxing when we do it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/boundedbadgers. And this is the story that connects you to the Goblin Village. And there we go. That has been the entire box set for this one. I'll just move that out of the way. So our Epic Encounters Village of the Goblin Chief. If you enjoyed that, please do subscribe to our channel. Anything you can do to help, just sing out about us as much as you can. Everything is appreciated. And until next time, see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.